And you get ready, you pull your weapon out because there's danger. You're judging the book by its cover. You're seeing that, oh, you say, whoa, whoa. You tap your boy. You're like, yo, you see that? Yo, get ready, man. Get ready. That's danger. You judge the book by its cover. You saw a lion and you judged it as danger, right? Here comes your boy. Whoa, man. Just because it looks like a lion doesn't mean it's a lion. Don't judge a book by its cover. What are you going to do? Are you going to trust your boy anymore? Or are you going to assume and judge a book by its cover again and assume that your boy is drunk or high or something? He's lost his damn mind. Of course that's danger. Of course I'm judging the book by its cover. It looks like danger, so I'm going to assume it's danger. Judging the book by its cover. So I say all that to say this, right? Whoever that tells you don't judge a book by its cover, they are coping, bro. They are coping with themselves at best. And at worst, they're trying to trick you. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to manipulate your mind. Don't fall for it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to stick around. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. First impression is everything, man. It's everything. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the importance of making a good first impression. Becoming the type of guy that is undeniable from the first look. Before I even get into the video, let me tell you guys something real quick, yeah? Before we even get too deep, before we start cooking, shaking and baking and all that. You know when people say, don't judge a book by its cover? Listen, man, let's be for real. Everybody judges the book by its cover, man. Everyone does it. Don't judge a book by its cover is, it's like gaslighting, man. It's like one of those societal constructs that is designed to play a okie doke on your mind. It's a perfect example of various coping mechanisms that society or societal consciousness as a whole has come up with to cope, to gaslight, to pretty much use it as a weapon, right? So when someone is doing something that's clear as day, everyone sees what they're doing. They can play that card, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. It's not what it looks like. This isn't a microphone. It's a helicopter. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's all nonsense, man. Listen, everybody judges the book by its cover. Everyone does it. And it's not a bad thing. We evolved as human beings to judge a book by its cover. Obviously, in this case, the book is an analogy, is a metaphor. It's not a literal book. It's more like a symbol to represent anything, really, especially human beings as we relate to each other. So the book symbolizes our fellow human beings. Think about back in the day, right? Way back in the day, our ancestors, the hunters and the gatherers and the warriors and people like that. Can you imagine, let's say you're a warrior, right? You got your uniform, you got your war attire, you're wearing your badge, you're flying your banner, the banner of the kingdom that you represent, right? And you go out into battle and then you see someone that's flying a different banner. Are you going to assume that's your teammate? That's your comrade? Or are you going to judge the book by its cover and say, yo, that's an enemy? Shing! Pull the sword out. Imagine that person that you're seeing that's flying a different banner that also has a sword and a spear and a shield and whatever, saying, whoa, 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 man. Don't judge a book by its cover. Or let's say you're outside, you're a hunter, right? You are with your boys, you're in the wilderness, in the forest, in the savannah, or wherever, and you see a lion, right? You see a lion creeping up on you guys, or a bear or whatever, and you get ready, you pull your weapon out because there's danger. You're judging the book by its cover. You're seeing that, oh, you say, whoa, whoa. You tap your boy. You're like, yo, you see that? Yo, get ready, man. Get ready. That's danger. You judge the book by its cover. You saw a lion and you judged it as danger, right? Here comes your boy. Whoa, man. Just because it looks like a lion doesn't mean it's a lion. Don't judge a book by its cover. What are you going to do? Are you going to trust your boy anymore? Or are you going to assume and judge a book by its cover again and assume that your boy is drunk or high or something? He's lost his damn mind. Of course that's danger. Of course I'm judging the book by its cover. It looks like danger, so I'm going to assume it's danger. Judging the book by its cover. So I say all that to say this, right? Whoever that tells you don't judge a book by its cover, they are coping, bro. They are coping with themselves at best. And at worst, they're trying to trick you. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to manipulate your mind. Don't fall for it. So obviously, in the society that we live in, judging a book by its cover is standard. That's standard protocol. That is normal. That is never going away. ever. Human beings have always judged a book by its cover. We will always judge a book by its cover. Even today, we judge a book by its cover. With that being the case, what's your cover? What does your cover look like? Your book being your body. What does the cover of your book look like? What story is the cover of your book telling? Are you out of shape? Do you look like shit? No disrespect, I'm just saying, if you look like shit, you look like shit. It's not a bad thing if you're willing to change it. You dig? What does the cover of your book say? What is the story that the cover of your book is telling before anybody takes time to read it, right? Just like the lion example. The lion could be a very friendly lion, I don't know, but you're not going to take that chance to read the book and find out, you're going to be on edge. You're going to assume that the lion is a threat. You're not going to take time to get to know the lion. You understand? And it's the same thing. It's the same principle that is at play within the human construct, within the society that we live in. No one is going to take time to get to know you instantly without judging the cover of your book first. That is the truth. So if the cover of your book is not appealing enough for someone to actually pick the book up and open the pages of the book, metaphorically speaking, of course, if you're not appealing enough to be approached or be allowed to approach the person that's viewing and judging the cover of your book, they're not going to take time to get to know you. They're not going to take time to flip the pages of your book. They're not going to take time to actually investigate your life and get to know you. They're just not going to do it if your cover is not appealing enough. That's the truth. So with that being the case, it's time to refine the cover of your book. You got to look presentable, and it starts with your physique. It doesn't matter what type of clothes you put on. It doesn't matter the brands that you want to wear. It really doesn't matter. All that is supplements. That's all decorations, right? It's decorating your book. But if the cover of your book, meaning your body, your aesthetics, is not appealing enough, it doesn't matter what you try to decorate it with. It's still not going to be appealing enough. As a matter of fact, if you try to overcompensate and replace the work that you got to put in to create a physically aesthetic cover of your book, aka your body, it's going to be so obvious to people. Because you got to remember, people are not dumb, man. I say this all the time. There's no human being that's dumb. I do not believe that any human being is dumb. There's just no way. You cannot be created in the image of the eternal supreme, the most high, the almighty, and be dumb. There's nothing dumb about the almighty. Therefore, you are not dumb. As a matter of fact, we're so intelligent, we possess the ability to play dumb convincingly. We can convincingly play dumb. That's how intelligent we are. So I don't want to hear all that dumb nonsense, all that dumb shit, bro. No one is dumb, man. I'm not buying that. That's how I judge the book by its cover. I'm going to assume that you're intelligent. I'm not going to assume you're dumb, because then I could lose guard. I could fall into some trap that you're setting up for me, right? If there's no trap, cool. If there is a trap, I'm ready. How about that? So lock into your physical aesthetics. Be the best that you can be. Spirit, mind, and body. Do not skip any steps. Take care of yourself. It's very easy nowadays to take care of yourself, to have an aesthetically pleasing physique. It's not a big deal anymore. It never was a big deal, but especially today, nowadays, it's not a big deal. You can easily accomplish that, man. All it takes is discipline, focus, and consistency. You got to have that resolve within you to have the best cover of the book that you possibly can get. Do it for yourself, do it for yourself, and you're going to be the one to reap the rewards of having a pleasing book, having a pleasing cover of your book. You might be someone that has a deep personality. You might be someone that is just an amazing individual, but no one's going to get to find that out if the cover of your book looks like shit. So why shortchange yourself like that? Why hinder yourself? It's like running a race, but each step you take, you're shooting yourself in the foot. How far are you going to get till you stumble and fall? You're not going to get too far, man. So don't do that to yourself. There's enough hindrances out here already that you can overcome if you put in the work, if you are that type of man, if you are an accomplished, sovereign gentleman. You get what I'm saying? And it starts with your mind. You got to make that decision to make the cover of your book the best that it can be. And then from there, you're already putting in the work to make sure the content of the pages in your book has depth, has value. So you are set in every single level of the game, especially with the cover of your book. So lock in, man. Get active. Tap in with me for one-on-one coaching. Link in the description as usual. Let's get to it, man. And with that being said, till next time, cheers.